If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. To all the Logic fans out there, I got some good news for y'all, because he just announced a new album on his social media. And today, we're going to talk about the announcement, of course, or like the hints that we have so far, what this album might be in terms of, music and content and everything we know about it. So let's jump straight into it. So Logic took to Instagram, to his Instagram story specifically, to post some new, videos and clips of him in the studio, listening to some music, recording some stuff, and mainly this was him holding like this script into the camera, and that is already where like the announcement begins, because he also titled it New Album. That's what like his caption for the story, and we can see on the script that he's holding in his hands, it says College Park, written and directed by Logic. At the bottom, we can also see a Bobby Boy production, Def Jam / Visionary Music Group. So this is a new album by Logic called College Park, and apparently he's doing some type of script or movie or whatever with it, the same thing that already happened with The Incredible True Story when he wrote like a movie script for it, and then also had that movie script, spoken out in the different skits on the album. This seems to be like that because it says written and directed by Logic, so obviously there's something to be directed on here. Also note how he now uses the name Logic again, not Bobby Hall, which he used for his book, for example, and which we all thought he was going to use to further put out music. And this is where it gets interesting, because we all know that Logic has one last album on Def Jam that he wants to drop to get out of his deal and then do whatever he does after that, maybe go independent, maybe do like his Bobby Boy stuff, whatever, we don't really know yet. We know he dropped Bobby Tarantino 3 in the summer, and that was not the last album, but on there he talked about the last album. I made several videos on that, y'all can go check that out. But at that point, we were all like, he's gonna drop a last album, he just hinted at it, and this seems to be it. That's made pretty clear from the fact that he used the name Logic, and at the bottom, of course, it says a Def Jam production. So very obviously this is his last record on Def Jam to get out of his deal, and then after that do whatever he wants, because you probably know Logic is not really happy in his deal with Def Jam. They didn't pay the people that worked on No Pressure, his last album that dropped in 2020 in July before his retirement. Of course, he then didn't retire but went on to drop that Doc D Planetary Destruction tape for free on DatPiff, and then also Bobby Tarantino 3 still under Def Jam, even though that was not the last album. But this seems to be it, and let's look at what we know about this thing so far, because he also posted some music, or we hear like some of the music playing in the background. If you want to get the full vocals, go to his Instagram right now. The story is still up and you can listen to what he got going on there, but it's already a lot we can tell from the little snippets we got. But let's start with the basics. This album is called College Park, and at first I didn't really know what he meant with this, because obviously everybody knows College Park from Atlanta, obviously, where Outkast is from, for example, but then Logic grew up in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and in a lot of his old stuff there's a heavy reference to also College Park, and that's also where he spent some part of his life. Also is referenced in a lot of like music videos, because I think that's where the University of Maryland is, and for example in the Live on Air music video he's at that location filming and recording the music, so this obviously has like some connection to his life. I'm not sure how heavily he was influenced by that area of like College Park rather than Gaithersburg, but we're gonna see on this new thing, because obviously that is a reference to his earlier life, to a certain time in his life where he was living in that area. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's also where he moved in with Big Lembo, who let him sleep at his house for free to record music, and who he later also flew out to LA and had featured on Young Jesus on The Incredible True Story, for example. And that already connects to another part that we know about this album, which is that in the snippets on his Instagram story we can hear Big Lembo rap rapping, and Logic and him like trading off bars again, just like they did on Young Jesus. And to me, that is like a direct reference that this is what, you know, the College Park and Big Lembo connection is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a throwback to the, you know, that point in time when the two of them were in College Park doing music and Logic trying to make it. And that is why we also have that Big Lembo feature on here. Now, talking about the music that we've heard so far, as I just said, we hear Logic and Big Lembo going off and trading bars on this very boom bap beat, but then also in another story where he's still just holding up the script, there's nothing visually different on this one, but we hear Logic singing over this like guitar instrumental, and it sounds a lot like some stuff that he would have done on Supermarket, the indie rockish singing album that he dropped in 2019 in March, I believe, as a companion to his then also first novel, Supermarket, that dropped around the same time, and it served as the soundtrack for that. And to be honest, a lot of people don't like that album, but that is, I think, a brave move, a bold move from Logic to put out an album like that. I love that he is pushing his boundaries, pushing his artistic limits. You know, he's singing on there, not hip-hop production, although you can definitely see the influence from, you know, here and there, which I love that hybrid between that you know, that new singing style and still the hip-hop style. So if he does something like that again on this new record, I will be all here for it, because truly Logic is someone who I believe can pull off a lot of stuff and experiment around with a lot of stuff that other artists just wouldn't have the courage to do. And that's why I'm always happy when I hear him experimenting around a little bit, because in the end, you know, a lot of people might hate it, but that's just what an artistic evolution looks like. And that also only makes me more excited as to what Logic got coming up in the future for his career. Because, as I said, we don't really know what he's going to do after that, after he drops this last album, but I know that he expressed the wish to, you know, further dive into other areas of music and film and this and that, so that's probably what he, you know, wants to do with a lot of his future work. We don't really know a lot about this new album, you know, other than the title of it and some of the musical content on there. We don't have a release date, we don't have a cover art, we don't have a track list yet, but as soon as we get those, you know, news and those things and an official announcement, maybe with the release date, I'll be sure to, you know, keep y'all updated. So if you want to stay up to date with this new Logic album, College Park, definitely make sure to subscribe, because I'll be one of the first reporting on this, because me personally, I'm hyped for this. I'm all here for it. So yeah, that's just my opinion, of course. Now I want to know what you think about this. Are you excited for this new Logic album, College Park? What are your expectations for it? What do you think of the snippets we've heard so far? What do you think about the title, College Park? How do you think it connects to his life, to his career, all of that? Let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media and blog down in the description. It really helps me out. Until the next one, y'all have an incredible day, and y'all take care.